Hello, and welcome to the Of Myths
Hello.
and Men podcast, the only podcast with unoriginal beginnings sometimes. I'm your host, Adam Holcomb, and I am joined today by co-host Dylan Blumenberg.
The skeleton ran out of shampoo in the shower.
That's never been said before.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Speaking of unoriginal.
And we are happy to have the guest staying at my house for the weekend, Valia Johodor, or something like that.
That was pretty good, huh?
Is Wayne Rooney the ultimate big boy specimen?
What?
That's a post on if
what?
you sort by new on our soccer. That's someone just threw a YouTube video with that title, and no one knows what the fuck is going on.
Big boy specimen?
Yep.
It's like the most homoerotic thing I've ever heard.
Definitely going to be a post that gets deleted, but I wanted to mention it.
Our podcast brings together three unknowledgeable individuals who spend a day pretending to be experts on mythology. Each week, we will discuss a different god or creature, rotating out our lead mythologist. We will discuss its habits, its attitudes, we'll tell a tale, and we'll end on a debate on who would win in a mythological fight club. Today's lead mythologist will be Dylan.
Alright, Adam. This week I've got something that we teased in the last episode quite a bit. I know a lot of people are excited about it. We got almost 1,000 comments saying how much they're looking forward to this episode. And
Did you buy those comments?
I hope I don't disappoint them. I mean, the fans were rabid. They were all talking about trying to win sweepstakes, and if you tweet this hashtag, you could win a vacation getaway.
It was a crazy week.
How many of those
one of
comments
them
were by your mom? How many did she post?
I'm going to say at least 3. Go ahead, Adam.
One of the fans was literally rabid, like foaming at the mouth, bit someone else. It was fucking crazy.
Escaped into the
woods.
They died
All three of us.
later.
All three of us were on Good Morning America. I mean,
So,
I did it with Joy Behar. Hello.
keep
this
your
was
eye out
sweeping
for that.
across the nation. Anyway, shall we finally drop the name and
let's
announce
drop
who
it.
won?
It rhymes with bum socks, which we'll actually get into later. But this thing is called a Leshen, or the Leshy. Have you guys heard of this at all?
Is
What
it
the fuck?
derived from a
Leshen does
leash?
not rhyme with bum
I
socks.
said we'll get into it later, Adam. So,
All right.
I picked this one specifically for Friday the 13th, which I feel like I'm going to be saying this a lot, but we're going to get into that later too. And it's a Polish god. A lot of this info, especially the combat stuff, is stuff I learned from playing the historically accurate game The Witcher. So it's a lot of good info in that game series that I took from this.
Is that the billiards game?
It is actually. You're a male witch back in Poland, and you're playing billiards to sleep with the local wenches.
Love it.
Nice.
So this
I
is
love
a
that game.
god. There's only one of these, and he rules over the forest and hunting. Now, this part is kind of irrelevant. So he's human-sized and usually male, but he can assume any likeness and change to any size or any height.
Like, there's no limit?
Yeah, nothing. Apparently. It didn't say, like, he could get to 12.5 feet tall and that's it.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
6.25 feet tall.
Not even that tall.
187 centimeters tall. Which does the system matter? Metric system, or you can just do feet? Or so if you tell him 190 centimeters, he's like, I don't know what that is.
It's measured in Polish centimeters, which are actually different than normal centimeters. So
Polimeters?
I guess we got to get on to Google math for that one. We'll talk about that on the Maths and Men podcast. But this thing, he's portrayed with horns usually, surrounded by a pack of wolves and bears. Not either or. You get both. And of course, these are real wolves and real bears. So keep that in mind.
What does it do with real bears and real wolves?
Fucks them, Adam. What do you think it does with them?
You.
It,
Sounds a little distracted
they like
by
protect
something.
them. You know Aquaman? Have you ever heard of this guy Aquaman?
Never heard of him.
He's in Gotham, right?
Can we talk about Mermaid Man instead?
Yeah, he's a DC Marvel comic superhero. He's basically, this guy's like the forest version of Aquaman. So he can summon like forest creatures. He can summon crows. Those attack people. But
Can it summon Blu-ray copies of The Crow?
no, specifically not that one.
Mm.
Anything else with Jet Li's son, but not that one.
Okay.
So this thing has been known to lead travelers and children away, which, you know, I love getting into this. Makes me think that's where the legend status came from. Was like telling kids not to wander in the woods because they're going to get lost and kidnapped by this thing. That kind of makes sense. It's a bit of a stretch, but
It would lead them away? Like, it would drop hints for them to go on a path that would get them lost?
yeah, like it would basically
Okay.
like abduct children.
Could it do that to,
That-
like, Survivor Man?
No,
Would he get lost?
Survivor Man and Bear Grylls were immune to that.
That
But
seems really rude.
The
I
cast
mean, for a
of
god.
Naked and
I mean, we
Afraid-
did talk about Hermes, so.
Yeah, I mean, because of that, people, they saw him as an evil god, but most of the time he's depicted as being like pretty nice to humans. Like he won't fuck with them if they don't fuck with him, type thing, or if they don't mess with the forest. But yeah,
So he's a big fan of Smokey Bear?
yeah, he's a big fan of smoking cloves too in the forest because it grows there.
What about Yogi Bear? Is he like Yogi Bear 3D?
Yeah, he's a big fan. He's on the part of the TJ Miller fan club.
Yes.
There's a lot of different names for this, actually. It's a Slavic god. I don't know if I mentioned that. Like, it's not specifically just Polish.
Slavic.
You know what? We're in America. It's called Slavic. But to be honest,
It's not even called that.
I don't even think that's true.
I'm going to need your help pronouncing a couple of these.
It
So I'm gonna post these in the chat to get your Russian pronunciation of these.
Well, they're Polish. Is that okay?
No, these ones
Oh,
are
these are
Russian.
Russian? Okay.
Yeah, these ones coming up.
Okay.
But he's called by different names. There's a couple of them that I thought were pretty good, and one of them was Borovoy, it's the he of the forest, and the other one was Gayavoy, which was he of the grove. But
I like Gay
I'll
Boy.
post these. How would you pronounce that?
You got him. You got him right. The
Borovoy?
second one would be
Gayavoy?
Gayavoy, but yeah.
You know, those Russians.
Good job.
Not a big fan of gays.
That's true.
But yeah, I tried to Google it and nothing came up, so glad I got it.
Yeah.
There's kind of a lot of these actually, like gods that would be considered similar in different cultures. I mean, it's pretty generic. Like a lot of these cultures, if they're hunter-gatherers, they're going to have some god that they pray to for this stuff. But there's a couple other ones that I thought were interesting. The Haitian culture had one called Grand Bois, like Bois. It was associated
Grand boys.
yeah. It's associated with trees, plants, and herbs.
What kind of herbs?
Exactly.
Wink.
You know, they're Haitian. And there's a Mayan one
Cloves.
too. Yeah, they're smoking just the freshest cloves. I'll post this one too for you, Volley, so you can help me pronounce this. But this one is a Mayan one. And it's spelled Yum Cox,
What?
which is where the rhyme bum socks comes from.
That is not cocks.
Is it like cax? With less emphasis
It's
on
probably
the K.
Cox, but if it's Mayan, I don't know. I'm not of Mayan descent.
Well, I mean, it's
I
like
did-
probably
I
Spanish,
went to-
right? It's around there.
I went to Chichen Itza, so I basically picked up some Mayan, and I will say it's probably young cocks.
Yum Cox. I mean, that's probably why the Mayans aren't around anymore, is because they're doing shit like that. It's not going to stick around in this age of social media.
Yeah, who names their kid Yummy Cox? I don't know. Gonna get made fun of in school.
Little yummy.
So that one helped farmers with their fields. It specifically mentioned corn, because, I mean, obviously that was important to Mayans. So why wouldn't he be the god of corn, right? He also I leaned away from the mic to burp. That's why there was that long pause there. That's why I'm explaining.
We're just eating corn.
Yeah, I was taking a bite.
I leaned away from the mic to eat
fresh
my corn on the
Mayan corn.
cob.
Nice.
And he helped hunters hunt. So this is where that Witcher info comes in with the combat stats. Because, like, basically, they didn't say anything about this thing fighting, but it has to utilize the animals. Like, if it's not doing that, something's wrong. But at the same time, you know, I think unless it's in, like, mortal danger, I don't think it would be, like, making these bears fight something to the death, if that makes sense. That seems
it wouldn't sacrifice the creatures it's trying to save, I think, without truly needing their help.
Yeah, that wouldn't really make sense. So it can do that. It can summon animals. It can dig its long root-like arms into the ground to attack things. So, like, there's no range on these things. I mean, maybe for the fight we'll have to implement something, but, like, it's basically just, you know, tree roots that come out anywhere. And
they can be grabbed. So
the tree roots can be grabbed?
If you're hitting someone with a really long arm, with the idea that they can't hit you back because you have bigger reach, they can still hit your arm.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a tree root.
Doesn't mean it doesn't impact it. You rip out a tree root, it's going to impact the tree.
I guess.
All right, go on.
I guess. So that does, quote, heavy damage. And then it can teleport. That's pretty good. It specifically said that.
That took a turn.
It's weak to... I never knew how to pronounce this when I was playing The Witcher. Dimeridium? Is that it? Dimeridium bombs? Relict oil. The Igni sign. And like I said in the beginning of the podcast, the number 13 is really deadly against this thing. So,
like 13 things, or like the number 13 written out?
Just 13.
Now I gotta ask again, are we talking just an English Latin alphabet, or like Roman numerals, or, you know, or is it specifically 1-3, can't English style? Nothing,
you
no
know,
Roman.
Where I found that information that totally isn't made up, that was all they had, was just the number 13.
Okay. So Roman numerals count.
Sure.
Okay.
And when you kill it, it drops Leshen resin, Leshen mutagen, monster bone, and fiber. So, yeah.
Look for
I
monster
can't wait
bone.
to get that fiber.
Dude, that Leshen mutagen, though, that's pretty legit. That's OP. That's pretty much all I had for facts. You guys have any questions on this thing? It's probably going to be pretty tough to kill.
So it's a giant tree type creature. It can teleport. What's the range of teleportation?
I'm going to say, like, shoot, we'll have to implement something. Like, within the forest? I don't know. I guess that depends on if we're fighting in a forest at all.
So, Adam, you've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender. You remember those, like,
I have.
when they go to the swamp and those swamp guys, and they're in the forest type swamp area, and those guys, like, take the vines and travel
super
everywhere?
hillbilly?
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining.
Do you remember fighting this thing in The Witcher, Adam?
Oh, yeah.
It was brutal.
I remember this thing.
Did you play that?
It was badass.
I played the first, like, I think half an hour, and then I stopped for some reason. I think I didn't like the combat.
Yeah, it's
for
kind of
working
weird.
on the wiki, I re-listened to the first episode, and there's literally a part where he's just like, I played The Witcher for 30 minutes, and I didn't like the combat, so I stopped. So I knew that answer, like, immediately.
Find me on the Witcher podcast, where I discuss the Witcher video game. Just me, no one else on that podcast.
That's pretty much all I got. Well, to answer your teleportation thing, I think, what would we do, like...
In the forest works probably.
Yeah, but you could have, like, a huge-ass forest.
Yeah, the forest is pretty big, but could just not fight in the forest.
That's true.
I do think In the Forest works.
I'm like over here staring out the window at this forest outside
So
my
this
window.
thing is basically the king of the forest.
Yeah, basically. It's like a very important god
Yeah.
and kind of a badass.
I thought Bambi was king of the forest.
Bambi got shot.
No, that was Bambi's mom.
Well, Bambi got shot later on. All right.
Did you see
Probably.
Bambi too, Adam?
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo.
Did you see Harold and Kumar go to White Castle, or one of the Harold and Kumar movies where they shoot the little deer and they say it's Bambi?
Didn't we go see one of those in the theater, like the fourth one or something?
Probably not.
I was busy. That was that Christmas special one, and I couldn't make it.
I swear, like me and you saw that, Valia.
I don't remember that.
It was probably super unmemorable if we did, but
Probably then. I don't know. I was too busy playing The Witcher.
dude, apparently not. So
All right.
that's all I got for facts.
Tail.
If you want to get into the
Tail
story,
time.
tail time.
Tail time with Tailman Taylor. Jesus fucking
I forgot what this
Mythology
thing is
was-
called.
What?
I honestly forgot what this thing was called.
It's
Leshen.
called Leshy, Leshen, Borovoy,
Oh, that's right.
Guyavoy,
Or Yum
or
Cox. Okay.
Yum Cox, or
Okay.
Grand Boyce.
Grand Boys.
Boise, Idaho?
The
a good
worst.
Mythology.
Oh, Jesus.
Mythology.
Ah,
Am I
Jesus.
ready? Can I start?
Go.
Mythology.
You motherfucker.
Sorry, I'm laughing. Go on.
Mythology was created through an early form of storytelling, so we like to spend a little bit of time delving into a tale that involves our subject. We'll be a little bit more in-depth with analyzation to better understand the story, and each week you'll be able to tell a tale to a friend, a tree shrub, your cloves, or whatever else you're growing in your basement.
Hey,
I
Holmes,
got some
smoking
ideas.
cloves? Hey.
So, like I said, it's a pretty short story because I didn't take the entire thing. I only took a paragraph of it. And here we go. At the heart of the forest lies a secret. In a place born of darkness and primeval nature resides a mighty and terrifying guardian. Immune to human steel, it is believed the Leshen is nature's way of protecting the forest and the animals that live within it from the threat humans started to pose upon their ravaging expansion deeper into their lands.
Ooh.
End scene.
A for effort, E for execution.
Is E like double S rank in these Japanese games?
Yeah, sure.
There was another one too. It was these people saying we don't hunt in that forest, even if it means the entire village starves. We don't hunt there. I thought that was pretty good too.
They're like
But that's-
activists.
Oh, that one's real good.
No, it's because they're scared of this Leshy.
So this thing would firmly be against anyone coming into the forest for any reason, even if it's a cyclical thing and they need food. It's a standard thing. This thing did not like.
I think they were just scared little pussies, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Well,
Little
I think
bitch.
that's what it was.
I think that was kind of what the quest was based around in The Witcher. I don't really remember this very well, but it was like these people are poaching, and
Okay.
then it has a problem with it. But if they're like hunting to get food, they're like, all right, sure, whatever. But I probably have that really wrong because I don't give a shit about quest lines. Sorry to say so.
What a horrible individual.
Yeah. The combat's just really good in that game.
Hey,
It's the best part of the game.
you
It
want to
really
die?
is.
You want to die today,
Do-
motherfucker?
No thanks.
Alright, go on. Fight Club.
Is there anything you would like to discuss, or shall we move on to the Fight Club?
Does this thing have sex organs?
I'm gonna say no. It doesn't need them.
You don't need them.
You know what? Yeah, I think it just pollinates, you know?
That's what I do too.
You're so potent.
Yeah. I have sex with flowers.
Jesus, that's not what I was getting at. Hopefully not any rose bushes.
I just do the top where there's no.
Is that what they call you, old cut cock?
Just
Cock.
dip your dick in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just right in the flower petals.
Yup.
Swish it around a little.
Tasty.
Nice.
Mm.
Wait, are you tasting it afterwards?
Did you remove a rib?
Jesus.
Okay, let's move on to Fight Club.
Yes.
One of the things people love to debate about is who would win in a fight. Marilyn Manson missing a rib or Johnny Depp?
Some would argue the same person.
Oh.
I think
So then
Johnny
it's a tie.
Depp is too artsy. Marilyn Manson is. It feels like he's not afraid to murder someone.
Have you seen Johnny Depp in that movie Rango? He was pretty fearless in it.
Have you seen Blow? That's a good movie.
No.
He's doing all the blow.
So, in our Fight Club section, we indulge ourselves and talk about who would win in a mythological fight to the death. We will pit this week's subject, the Leshen, against one we discussed in an earlier podcast with our lead mythologist defending the creature. And he can challenge either myself or Valia. Who would you like to challenge, Dylan?
I'm going to challenge Valia to this one.
I'm laughing because I just saw the stat sheet. Strength 0.
What are you talking about, Zero?
0.
You motherfucker.
Intelligence 1. I do like the fact that Google Sheets, like, there's no latency. I can hear you hit like enter or down and it updates on my side.
That's
That's
pretty
insane.
impressive.
Like if you hit down right now. Yeah, it's like insanely quick.
Yeah.
Holy shit. But yeah, durability 1, total 2.
2. That didn't add my 9s.
It's because you have to refresh data.
I'll refresh your fucking data.
Hey, calm down.
All right. So, I honestly, though, I think this thing is pretty strong. It's probably up there.
Yeah, it sounds strong.
I'd give it like a 9's pretty ridiculous. I'd say like an 8 or 9.
I mean, it's a
I think-
fucking forest thing.
It is a god, too.
Yeah, it is like the god.
So I'd say 9's reasonable.
I agree.
And speed-wise, I mean,
I think.
negating teleportation, because that's cheating,
Yeah, it really is.
that'd be a 10 instantly.
Yeah.
I don't think this thing was too quick. It was
No,
pretty lumbering.
I would agree with that.
So I don't want to say it's 2.
Oh, I was
Hermes
thinking
is
like a
faster
4.
than it.
A 4, it's faster than a human, you think?
I think so. It's like the vine thing where it sticks its vines underground, you know? I would say that's pretty fast.
Yeah, I suppose. Alright, we can give it a 4.
Split the difference?
Okay, 3. 3 it is. Intelligence. I mean, as a god, it's probably pretty smart.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's not book smart, though. It's very wisdom-based.
The
Like
forest
the
has got a
forest
lot
and
of
stuff.
wisdom.
Alright, on the count of 3, we'll all say the number we think its intelligence should be.
You are cutting out like a
1,
motherfucker.
Yeah, you
2.
kind of are. It's alright, though.
Alright, on the
context.
On the count of 3, we will decide what.
9.
What we'll all say the number. What?
What are we deciding?
The intelligence.
Intelligence.
Oh.
So what number do you think the intelligence is? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3,
7.
5.
What'd you say?
I was gonna say that didn't work out because I didn't hear anyone else's.
I said 7.
What'd you say, Adam?
5.
Should we do a
So I
7?
think it should be 7.
That works.
I knew it.
All right.
Durability?
Durability. This
That's-
thing's got to be
Yeah, it's...
at least a 9
That's
or
a
10.
tenner.
Alright, let's give it a 10.
That's a 10 pop.
The most durable
Oh, look at that
next to
thing.
Hermes. Dude, Hermes still beats this thing?
Hermes is ridiculous because of that boat. It's just unfair that he has a boat.
Dude, this thing is lit. The boat?
You think
Did
he
you
could?
say?
Yeah, if Hermes takes this thing on a boat,
What
What happens?
Okay. You didn't have that in there, Adam, as the... Did you have that in there?
It owns a boat
Oh,
in the special.
Hermes
implication.
All right. So, since Dylan is challenged, Since Dylan has challenged Valia.
Every time I think of that bit, his face comes up in my head.
You know, if I ever was auditioning for something and I needed to fake a laugh, I would think of Frank crawling out of that couch. Oh man, sorry to exclude you here once again, Adam.
Do you have Hulu, Adam?
I mean,
Yes.
you really
Get
don't
on
have to
your
watch
ass and
it.
watch.
If you don't,
It's Always
if you don't
Sunny.
like it, don't bother.
Watch it now. During this podcast,
I tried.
we're gonna watch
It wasn't good.
You're the
That's
worst
fair.
human being
I'll accept that.
in the world. I played Witcher for 7 hours just to say I
You
did it.
son of a bitch.
All right, go on.
All right. So we got the stats figured out. Dylan has challenged Valia, making myself the moderator. So I get to choose Valia's creature.
This is a hard
Am I
one.
pronouncing it correct now?
Yeah, you actually. I don't know why you're changing it now. Now I'm self-conscious
Yeah.
that you're changing it because of me.
I am, but don't worry, I'll forget
Hey, that's
tomorrow.
Fine. That's fine.
And start calling you back.
It's just a
Calling
name.
you it wrong again.
People get where you're
who
going
gives
with
a
it.
I could. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna call you fuckface.
Call me Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
That was a good.
Rodrigo, I'm giving you the Hellhound.
Pronounce it in a Portuguese accent though.
He'll
So the
don't.
first R is like an H.
Dip. Oh, your name,
Like
Rodrigo.
a jalapeno.
So it's like
Oh,
Rodrigo.
jeez. Rodrigo.
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 HTC.
Rodrigo.
HTC.
Rodrigo.
So I have the Hellhound.
Yeah, you get Hellhound.
Good. This is gonna be a fight for the
It's
ages.
It's not going to be as strong, but it's got flaming paws.
It literally only has speed
And fire.
on the Leshen. Not really.
I mean,
But those vulnerabilities versus specials, I think that's where this comes in.
What vulnerabilities? Oh, fire is its vulnerability. I didn't see the
Yeah.
lit
yeah.
symbol there. Okay,
Is that what that's called now?
I guess.
No, it's literally a fire emoji.
Yeah, but culturally, is it known as the lit symbol?
That's
the
what people use
hashtag?
on Twitter, right?
Mhm.
To say something is lit. AF?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that mixtape and stuff.
Lit
That's
AF?
all I know. I feel like an old man saying that mixtape. Jesus, holy shit! All
I
right,
made this mixtape on Spotify. It's so good. All right, so I got the Hellhound. Let's do this thing.
The location is the plains in North Dakota.
I feel like this thing wouldn't be totally out of its element in planes though, because it's still the nature god.
Yeah, it can still spread roots and stuff.
No, it's not out of its thing, but I eliminate teleportation.
All right,
So that
I'll accept
the
that.
Hellhound does have better speed. It gets to keep that.
So if I get to go first here, because I'm speaking first, I'm gonna say that this Leshy, he just takes control of this Hellhound because he's a creature that I can take control of. And that's that.
I can't defend that because that's one
No,
of the
I'm kidding.
big
That's-
weaknesses of
That's
it.
so ridiculous. No, that can't be.
I'm gonna say since it's a supernatural creature, it doesn't count, and it's not a forest creature.
That works.
It's a hell creature.
Forest of Hell.
It's seen some things.
Yeah. It's seen Gossip Girl twice. How many times have you seen it, chump?
Not even once.
Exactly. I got into an argument. This is sidetrack again. Can be cut out. Not an argument. Like when I was down in Milwaukee a couple weeks ago for a graduation party, and I was discussing with a bunch of ladies that show, like how I'd seen 2 or 3 episodes off, like just other people watching it. There's this English guy whose face I just don't like, and he's just all brooding and mean looking all the time, but he's super handsome, and they all love him, and I just didn't understand it. And yeah.
Who is it? I'm curious.
I don't know who it
Oh,
is.
dude. I pull up a picture of the show and I already fucking know who it is.
It's the guy in the suit, right?
Well, I mean, they're all in suits in this picture, but
Hold on. So
they're all
I'll
kind
look
of
up his
brooding
name.
also.
his name is that's not it. That's not him. Ed Westwick.
That's a good name.
It is. He's English, and his face bugs the hell out of me.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. Oh man, this like 5th picture of him. If you Google pictures,
Yeah,
like
I don't want to.
seems like he's gonna be like
The black and white one?
no the shit, the one like right above that. If you have 2 columns, the variety one.
All right, back to the fight. Okay, that one's pretty fucking dumb.
Yeah, he seems like he's like an account manager at some fucking legal firm or something that his dad owns.
He's not actually on the show. He's just one of them. Like he's hanging out behind them.
Yeah. Ugh.
All right, cool. Anyway, so what do? You take control?
No, I can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
I'll stick some roots under the ground at you.
So I'm super quick. You stick the roots under the ground. I step on the roots and really get them toasty.
Man, this sound effect soundboard is really paying off.
Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle.
Good buying decision, Adam. But
Thanks.
I mean, you wouldn't necessarily know where these roots are coming from if they're underground. Like I could have them come from like 3 feet the side of you and just. That's another sound effect. Spear ya.
Fine, I make my body get all hot, and
Dude,
it makes your shit sizzle. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. You're super strong because like one hit of these fucking roots, I feel like would take me the hell out. So my only game really is to counter with speed and the fire that I have. You know.
All right, Adam should be moderating this, but I mean, he's probably fucking Googling Ed Westwick over here. So I'm going to say if you're creating like an aura of fire, like an AoE fire, like 5d6 or something, he can do that. So he's got this AoE fire. Adam's over here fucking formatting colors on Google Sheets. Oh my god.
I haven't done shit on Google Sheets for like 10 minutes.
Son of a bitch. But I also got these animals I can summon.
He doesn't. We've previously talked. He has no aura of fire. It was just his footprints. What? Why are you like giving him powers?
Because I'm kind of OP compared to this thing. Like I got wolves and stuff that can attack this thing. They're gonna rip you apart.
It's the plains. There's nothing around right now.
There's prairie wolves.
The best you can do is maybe a groundhog.
Dude, I'll take some groundhogs. Dude, I'll get some groundhogs.
Point is, I run away.
All right.
No, okay. So you do your roots game. Really, my move is to counter and then grab the roots to set them on fire. Like, what impact would that sort of thing even have on
I think
the Leshen?
that would suck.
Solid assessment.
I don't think that would work well.
No?
It doesn't have the Hellhound doesn't have the intelligence to determine whether or not where the roots would come from.
It has the speed.
And he could have like a whole bunch. It does have the speed.
And it has the sensing ability to like feel the ground changing where they're going to spike up.
True. So I suppose it could probably figure it out and dodge the attacks well enough. So I don't think it gets harmed in the
How fast are these roots coming through?
Typical growth rate of a root.
What the fuck are you talking about?
So like 3 years.
it's just sitting around for like years
Just
before
wait.
it finally comes.
It's also got some crows attacking you, like pecking at you, distracting you, harassing you, molesting you, yelling, "Go back to China, bitch!"
Okay, so I am dealing with these crows, right? Barking, bark, 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 and clawing.
Okay. Is there a dog in the studio?
It's a German Shepherd.
Oh.
I'm barking, clawing away at these crows, right? And then, as soon as I get a glimpse of this big tree motherfucker, I straight up sprint and attempt, because this thing is huge, right, at this stage?
I mean, it could be.
It's pretty big.
I guess I didn't
Actually,
really
yeah, it's your cause.
Yeah.
What size are you right now?
I mean, what would be more advantageous for me?
You're slower when you're bigger.
So if I'm, like, invisible, like, so small you can't even see me, do I still have the same powers? Like, can I still summon big roots and everything, Adam?
No, the roots would size with you.
Well, what if could I have a lot of small roots? I'm talking like needle-sized roots, but like 100 of them.
Yes.
Right, that's good enough. I'm like blending in with this prairie grass.
Okay. I just wait because I can't do anything. What do you do?
Just start the prairie grass on fire by walking.
It's a slow
and start
burn.
a large wildfire.
That's a good idea,
So,
but
yeah,
there
I
isn't
think
enough
I
of a
stabbed the
connection.
shit out of this thing with a bunch of tiny roots.
The hellhound is impervious to your attacks because they're too small.
Oh, what are you talking about?
It is super
The
durable.
hellhound is tough. The durability of it is like 7
That's true, it is
on the
quite durable.
on the Of Myths and Men 1 to 10 scale.
All right,
The
I
Adam
think
Holcomb creature cracker.
I change size, entomb this thing in roots, and tighten them. And
That's
then
an
it,
Ant-Man move right there.
Extricts this thing. Dude, fucking Ant-Man. He's so boring.
What?
I think
I
we talked
enjoyed
about
it.
this.
So good.
I was so bored during that movie.
What, do you not like Paul Rudd? Everyone likes Paul Rudd.
I do like Paul Rudd.
Racist.
I think he's great.
Anyway, you're doing all this bullshit. I'm just setting all these roots on fire.
Yeah,
My paws. Fire, 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 fire. You know?
professional.
What happens? Do I set them on fire?
Adam?
Yeah, they're pretty on fire.
But they're
Okay.
still constricting or no?
Well, they're a weakness of yours, right?
Probably, but I mean, yeah, their weakness, and he can kind of break through them because he's burning
I'm
them.
imagining like when you see in cartoons when someone gets entangled in roots and they cut one of the roots, like they just slip away, basically. And then either a new one pops in or like that root is gone.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too, honestly. Like, you're probably not doing much damage to myself specifically, but I don't know. I use more roots, and then I have
Can I
some,
see-
some quiotes
Ooh,
attacking you?
nice.
Yes, you can definitely see him.
I can
What about,
see him
can
at
you
this
see
stage.
these
Okay.
quiotes?
I power
Yeah, he
through
grew.
these roots, all right? Because it's still strong as hell. I just straight up power through these roots with my flames and all that, and just mount the hell out of this big mofo, all right?
Wait, Mount
Like
how?
climbing on top because he's big now, right? So I'm climbing on top,
Yeah.
just climbing him like a tree with my flaming paws, really just trying to inflict maximum damage, and I'm
I think I
like
just
clawing.
I gotta do 2 roots, one on each end, one in the pooper, one in the chewer. The chewer. Oh, that's funny.
What?
Just
the
give
chewer?
it
Tie them in the middle.
the old like tentacle porn type deal, and
Do you tie the roots in the middle?
yeah,
Spit roast him?
I stick a fist up your ass to touch your heart, and then just puncture your heart.
This awakens something in the Hellhound, and he's just enjoying
Oh
it.
no! Oh no!
I don't know. I don't have a comeback to this. I just kind of take it and die eventually.
I guess we'll call it there. The Leshen is able to beat the Hellhound by anally penetrating
Oh
it,
jeez!
but the Hellhound dies in ecstasy. There are a lot of scorch marks and a lot of cum spots on the
Oh my
Leshen.
God.
Come as
All
just
right.
fiery little balls.
I'll take that.
All right, so we've reached the end, and now we had that contest, the Twitter contest, retweet the hashtag, that stuff. I mean, we didn't actually start it, but it got so big because of this episode that we had to definitely do something for it. So our we picked them, and our winner after we drew him, we cut all the names out, put them in a hat, is Hugh Jassel. Oh, fucking
Gotcha.
hell.
Gotcha!
You got.
It's the last contest we do.
What did they win though?
A signed print of the three of us.
Is it high-fiving? Like as like making a triangle?
What?
An awkward, like, triangle high five.
Because the height differences, it's just weird.
I didn't sign that.
And Dylan's, like, arm is just really long.
It's just like 2 feet above your guys' high five.
Is Kyle in the background, like, peeking in? Hey,
Sitting
guys,
on his phone.
what's going on?
Alright. So today we learned about the Leshen, which is like a giant tree guy. He's the god of the forest and hunting, and he doesn't like people who hurt his forest. We learned about his root attack.
About anal
We learned that
penetration.
anal penetration kills even the hellhound. And we also learned that Dylan gets all of his creatures and facts from the Witcher video game.
Not all of them.
I've completed the Witcher.
All right, not the young
and
cocks.
Man, what is it going to be next week? You beat it on New Game Plus?
100%ed.
All the achievements.
I got all the Xbox One achievements, yeah.
We talked about the creature, a bit of a description about it in the woods, and we found out that it would beat the hellhound in a battle by anally penetrating it and piercing its heart.
It was really a win-win, I think.
Yeah, the hellhound really enjoyed
What
it.
did the Leshy get out of it?
A win?
Living?
Yeah.
But it's got
and it won.
flaming
So.
shit on its tendrils. Honestly, I don't know how much that affected. It could just like stick them in the ground and it would go out, you know?
So it enjoys it too. And if you've enjoyed what you've heard, please
you
swing by
definitely
iTunes to leave
haven't.
a rating and review.
There's no way.
I'm just kidding.
If you hated what you heard, leave a 5-star rating. If you liked it, leave a 5-star rating.
We do our ratings from 5 to
If you're a
5.
Trump supporter, also leave a 5-star rating. If you're just, looking for a good time, hit me up.
Leave a 5-star rating with your phone number,
Yeah.
and Valia will call
Especially
you.
if you're a very heavy-set man. We're into that.
We?
Yeah. It's a big
Speak
party,
for
boys.
yourself, sucker.
So please swing by iTunes to leave a rating and review. You can send us positive vibes on Twitter at Myths and Men, and on Facebook at the Of Myths and Men Facebook page. And we hope to see you next week when we talk about something else.
See ya!
Oh wait, I'm an episode late on that one. The music you heard on this podcast is called Call to Adventure by Kevin MacLeod from Incompetech.com. It is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license.
That's what I do. I just laugh through my nose.
There's
It's so annoying.
Alright,
this
shall
lady.
we begin?
Hold on, though. There's this
Okay.
lady at my work, right? She laughs.
Yeah.
She laughs like this.
Oh my god. That's so annoying.
Let's do... In this podcast, every laugh we do that.
That's a different one. There's this lady at work, this new lady, who, her laugh is like the definition of a cackle. And it's so annoying.
She's saying the word cackle every time. Cackle.
Basically.
Cackle.
Snoopy was stabbed by a spear.